All right, I got my cousin, the one and only Coach Flowers, in the building. We're getting ready to talk about this matchup, this Rose Bowl game with Alabama versus Michigan. And we're going to talk about some of the key factors in the game. We're going to talk about who's the best coach, who has the best offense, and who has the best defense. So as we get ready to start, who has the best coach? Who you think? Out of Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh, who you think is the best coach out of the two?
The pure statistics, you got to go with Saban. I mean, I always been a Jim Harbaugh fan because, I mean, I like his style of coaching. Old school, straight to it. He ain't got to be like Cliff Kingsbury, got to dress good and wear a suit and tie. This guy's a perfect example of an old school football coach, and that's what I consider myself. So I always liked Jim Harbaugh, but Saban is a better coach off statistics, man. He had the best teams. He also wins the best teams. I mean, some coach they get in there, they have coaches that don't be the best coach, but still find a way to win. But in a game like this here, you need the best coach, and I think Nick Saban the best football coach.
Yeah, I think at this point, I think I agree with Saban is the best coach. What he has, what, 6 or 7 championships in what, 17
Yep.
years at Alabama. Jim Harbaugh,
Mm-hmm.
he's what, this is his second conference title. So if you put both of them together, I do think Nick Saban is the best coach at this point. All right, moving on
Hands
to the
down.
offense. What do you think about the offense? You got Michigan offense. They've kind of been explosive. With the guys who they played on their schedule, and you got Alabama who started slow and who's coming along at the right time. So what about the offenses?
Offensive wise, Michigan more of a I don't say they struggle, they're more of a ground and pound team. That's what they do. Michigan not a team you're gonna see that's gonna score 40 points consistently all the time. They like to wear you down with the running game, hit you with the flash and pass, and make the quarterback create with his legs sometimes. So their offense is not bad. It's just their style of playing offense. Now we can say Alabama offense is better than what it used to be, but it's a different style of football they're playing now. You gotta base your judgment off them based off what they offense doing against now, what they're trying to
Right.
get accomplished. And Bama on the other hand, Bama just wanna, like I said, run the ball, take their shots down the field, and take care of the football. So you gotta go edge with offense. Michigan been running their offense a little bit more. Their offense, they've been doing this for a few years now. Alabama just starting to run this type of ground and pound type offense. So you gonna get an edge. You get an edge to offense overall to Michigan because Michigan been doing this for a long. Bama
Right. I
has
think
went from a spread out system to a ground and pound. It's still kind of
right.
new to them.
And I think Michigan been more consistent. That's the biggest thing. Michigan has been more consistent on
Yep.
offense than Alabama. Alabama was still trying to find their identity early on. Michigan been the same
Yep.
way for what since Harbaugh's been there. They're going to run the football. They're going to play action. They're going to try to hit you downfield on some big plays. So I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Michigan has the best offense. All right, moving on to the defense. What you think about the defenses? Who has the best defense out of the two?
Their defense, if corner statistic wise, you would say Michigan off statistics because again, the level of competition is being different as well. Because about one time in the
Yeah.
season, I think the first maybe 5 weeks of the season, Michigan was playing like Norfolk State, Ball State, a bunch of garbage teams. So they pad their
Right. Right.
stats up and it made their defense look good. Oh, Michigan only giving up 2.6 points a game. But when you
Right.
playing teams, look at their records now with losing records, you will see why Michigan beat them guys like that. Then you got to look at Alabama. At one point, they played Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Tennessee, LSU. It's like,
Right.
okay, most of the time, those teams was ranked. A&M add them to it too. All them guys was ranked. And them teams are good
Right.
football teams. All them teams are playing in bowl games. So if you compare the strength of schedule and the eye test, Alabama defense is a whole lot better. They're a lot more faster, they're stronger, get more pressure on the quarterback. Because the best quarterback Michigan has seen is Ohio State quarterback. And you see right now, he in the transfer portal. He just left.
Right.
So he wasn't too good. Any quarterback lead this late in the game, they're not that good besides Dylan Gabriel. So I have
Right.
to say, defense-wise, Alabama has the best defense. Bama do has the best defense.
Yeah, and I think athletically, they do have the best defense. Also, with the two defensive ends they have, you have the All American safety, All American corner. Everybody's just playing good at the right time. I think and those guys, I think those guys are a little bit more hungrier. I think Michigan defense, they're consistent, but I just think that overall Alabama has the more
We the
athletic,
competition.
right, and it has the more athletic guys and the guys that they've been there, especially the secondary. They've been there 2 3 years, and they know that secondary, and they should be a lot hungrier. And they, like I said, they're getting better each and every week.
Yeah.
All right,
And like you said, they good, but you have to base off the competition they playing against. They were like, yeah, they consistent against sour teams. See, Bama's
right,
more
yeah,
consistent against good teams. And good
right,
teams,
right,
they always shut teams down in the second half. Or at least slow you or stymie you. Let Michigan would have played LSU offense. I guarantee you LSU will score at least 28, 30 points easily. Same
yeah, yeah,
thing you say for Auburn, you can say that for Ole Miss. It just level of competition made Michigan look good. And that's why everybody picking Alabama because they know Bama's battle tested.
right, yeah, yeah. I agree. All right, so let's look at some of the key players. Whether it's offense or defense for Michigan or Alabama. What are some of the key players in this game? We can look at Alabama
For
first if you want to.
Alabama, you got Jalen Milroe. He X Factor. He make the whole show roll. If Milroe do his job and don't turn the football over, it's a 17 or 20 point win for Alabama. I mean, he's hands down the best player to look at. But if you don't look at anybody else in this game, I say tight ends, not black.
Yeah,
Because you already know they're going to know about Isaiah Bunn and Jermaine Burton. Not black going to have to go off him and Dupree. The tight ends going to have to do their job. And
yeah,
Bama ain't going to have 200-yard rushing day, but the running backs going to have to be consistent again, 3 to 5 yards a carry. They ain't going to say they're going to get the huge runs because Michigan do a good job, but they don't blitz as much. They kind of let everything play in the sitting laps.
right,
But on Michigan's side of the ball, offense stand out the quarterback. Again, right now he's only throwing for like 120 a game. You're
yeah.
not going to be Alabama throwing for 120 a game. It's impossible. You're
No,
not going to beat him that way. He's going to have to at least throw the ball for at least 285 to 300 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns, and add like another 50 or 60 yards rushing to be Alabama. Because what get
yeah,
Alabama fixed is a quarterback that can move and can throw.
right,
Not just move. You got to be able to do both of them. Then
yeah,
again, Michigan receivers going to have to get out the press. They're playing against 2 first-round corners out there. So Roman
right,
Wilson, the other kid they got out there, it's going to be a hard sledding for them, getting open.
right.
And I
Ain't no,
think that's the key to the game right there. They got to be off the
right,
line of scrimmage.
right. Ain't no free releases this game right here. And I
No.
think Alabama wise, you're right. QB, Jalen has to get the ball out quick, no turnovers, and I think that offense line got to hold up. They got to
Mm-hmm.
switch blocks. They got when they run those stunts and things like that, and they run those blitzes, they got to be able to hold up, be able to pick those guys up, get Miro enough room to actually throw the ball and go through his reads. And as
Yeah.
far as Michigan, I think it's the QB. He can't turn the ball
Yeah.
over, and they got to be able to run the ball. If they can't run the ball, they're going to be in trouble all night. So they got to be able to run the ball
Yep.
and have
Yep.
no turnovers.
Yep.
So I think if they can do that, they may have a chance to beat Bama. If Bama go out and do what they're supposed to do as far as offensive wise and defensive wise. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so who you picking to win? We got Alabama or Michigan. Who you picking?
Give a few things, man, can happen in this game. Right now, if Michigan gonna win the football game, we gotta go back to what we said again. They gotta make Alabama uncomfortable. And
Yeah,
teams that made Alabama uncomfortable this year, to me, only was Georgia and Auburn. You gotta put
yep,
them in a dog fight. You gotta be able to run the football. You gotta be pushing the 200-yard rushing mark. And Bama can't be on their A game.
yeah,
That's keys to how Michigan gonna win. Keys for how Alabama gonna win. Bama's gotta be Bama. Play tough,
right,
play physical, make Michigan uncomfortable. If they make Michigan uncomfortable, it's over with. I mean, I don't see no how in way they can beat Alabama and stand up toe-to-toe game. Like in a boxing match. You look at Errol Spencer Crawford. That fight looked like it was a fight right down the
right,
middle until somebody got hit. When
right.
somebody got hit, that fight changed. And the
Yeah,
same
it
thing I'm
did.
saying right now for Michigan, Alabama. Michigan ain't got hit yet. They have not got
Yeah,
hit. And Bama gonna hit their butt. If they don't respond well to it, it's over with. Bama win by 17 points. Even if Michigan respond early, they gonna have to deal with Alabama rope a doping they butt the whole fight. Like Muhammad Ali. They gonna lay on the ropes, hit you, hit you, hit you. Then quicker they
right,
see it open, they gonna hit you in the mouth. And Michigan how getting hit in their mouth late in the game and have somebody chewing on them have Miro run around on them, getting them big yards. The key is Miro. If Miro start running that football, it's over with. Because
Yeah,
now they got to bring the safety down in the box. You got to bring safety
right.
down. You got to spy him. Spy's
Right.
not
I
going to work
think
against Miro. You can't spy him.
he at least needs to have about 75 yards of rushing to have a big factor in this game. Miro, 75 yards plus, they win the
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
easy.
And like I said again, Michigan, they might try two schemes. They're gonna try the spy scheme at first and try to keep everything in front of them. But you're going they D line is not that good. So they're not gonna get a pressure on the quarterback. So receivers
Right.
gonna work their way open too much. Then once if they try to pass rush Miro, now your DBs got their backs turned because you in man, Miro gonna run all day on you. So it's gonna come down to D
Right.
line. D line gotta contain Miro. They gotta contain it.
Yeah.
They don't contain Miro. Bama gonna beat them. It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna be like it ain't gonna be ugly the Florida State Georgia game, but you're gonna see the first time you're gonna see the number one team get dominated in the playoff. They will
Right.
get dominated.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. What's your points? I got Alabama 35-17. Alabama 35-17.
Mm. I got Alabama 32-18. Alabama
32.
32-18. That if the game is close. But then
Right.
if Michigan don't show up, once they get hit in their mouth, I can see a 45-17 type game.
Okay. All right. So we both in agreement. All
Yep.
right. That game comes on at 5 o'clock Eastern and 4 o'clock Central Time. So we'll be tuned in, ready for that game.